Now, the drama, Mira Sayal, returns for another series as Family Liaison Officer Jackie Hartwell in A Small Town Murder by Scott Cherry.
More than one injury?
Looks like it.
What's that? By her leg.
Her shoes come off. Well, a sandal. And there's a tattoo just above her ankle.
So what do we do, Gulf? Leave her in the water?
Better wait for the pathologist.
It'll make time of death difficult.
Can't have everything.
We had a call from the Botanical Gardens at about 8 o'clock this morning to say a woman's body had been found floating in the rock pool. Not easy. Dealing with a sudden death when you've been up all night at someone's leaving do. Bill Kinning, 23 years service, worst hangover of my life, and I didn't even like him. The pool's quite close to the path, so I suppose the deceased could have slipped leaning over to feed the goldfish, or tripped trying to take a closer look at the water lilies. Accidents do happen, but an accident wouldn't explain why she seems to have suffered injuries to both the front and the back of her head, or why the contents of a rucksack have been strewn along the path. Cigarettes, lighter, smartphone, pink comb, and a book. Gov, take a look at this.
What? To dearest Abby with lots of love, Mum.
P.S. Sorry about the Blackpool photo.
I wanna be Bobby's girl. I wanna be Bobby's girl. That's the most important thing to me. And if I was Bobby's girl,
That was Susan Moore singing Bobby's Girl, chosen by Birmingham's very own pop princess of the 1960s, Connie Hudson, here with her daughter to talk about her autobiography, It Had to Be Me. And for those lucky people who travelled to Edgbaston last night for Connie's concert in the Botanical Gardens, I think you'll agree. Connie was absolutely terrific.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Bless you.
Excuse me, I'm Jackie Hartwell, West Midlands CID. I believe Connie Hudson's here being interviewed.
That's going out live.
Do you know when the interview's over?
15 minutes. So come out as soon as they're finished.
To reception.
Yeah.
That kind of rubbish today. If I was Bobby's girl, what a grateful, thankful girl I'd be. Dear, oh Lord, Bobby'd have to be very rich and very, very old. But that sums it up. It was the usual situation. Male-dominated industry. All the women had to be girly-girly. Mind you, Susan was gorgeous, bless her.
Birmingham girl like you?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think she'd moved down from, where was it, at the northeast, was it?
We first bumped into each other at the Handsworth Plaza, watching the Beatles. By the way, listeners, you've probably gathered my daughter Laura knows more about the 1960s than I do. But when you grow up getting birthday presents from the likes of Adam, Faith and Lulu, well, you still got most of them, haven't you?
I've still got the teddy bear Sandy Shaw gave me.
Sell it on eBay.
Remember when you went on that show in America?
Yeah.
And brought me back that big jar of jelly beans?
You haven't still got them.
I've still got the jar.
You said we'd have an hour.
There must have been a misunderstanding.
It's my fault.
Are you sure you didn't say I'd have longer so I'd come and do the interview?
Mum?
Where are you going? Where's he going?
I've got a meeting, Connie. Sorry.
Mum, honestly, it was really good. We mentioned your book and the concert.
She didn't let me tell any stories. I was going to talk about my one-night stand with John Lennon.
It was all fine.
And I thought there was going to be a phone-in.
Excuse me?
I thought people were going to be calling in, asking questions.
Well, maybe next time.
Connie Hudson.
Are you the producer? I was told I could talk about my autobiography for at least an hour. I was performing last night. If I'd known I was coming in to listen to the likes of Susan Moore and Kathy Kirby, I'd have stayed in bed.
It's okay, Mum.
I'm not a producer, Mrs. Hudson. I'm a police officer. Jackie Hartwell, West Midlands CID.
Police?
I wonder if I could have a word. Maybe there's somewhere we could go that's a bit more private. I see if I can get you a glass of water? I realise this must have come as a terrible shock.
It might not be her. Maybe it's not Abby.
Of course it's Abby.
Describe her again.
Looks to be in her late 40s. Faded jeans. Blue puffer jacket. Small butterfly tattoo just above her right ankle.
Where was she?
In the botanical gardens.
But whereabouts exactly?
There's a pool in the rockery.
So she drowned? I don't understand.
We're still waiting on the preliminary report from the pathologist.
But was she in the water?
Yeah. I'm not going to mention the blows she suffered to her head and upper body, or the defence wounds to her hands where she must have tried fending off her attacker. They'll soon be given all the gory details. We found a signed copy of your book near to where we found her body and recognised her from one of the pictures. You were in the gardens last night, giving a concert.
Yeah.
Was Abby in the audience?
She was, yeah.
I tried so hard, Laura. From the day she was born, I tried so hard to be a good mother.
You were a good mother.
But no matter what I did, Abby always had to make a scene, do something stupid, do anything she could to hurt me. I couldn't win. Oh, what am I going to do about Saturday?
Well, you'll have to cancel.
But they've sold tickets.
Well, they'll just have to give people a refund.
Were you doing another concert?
They'll understand.
It's like her mum's angry with her for getting herself killed.
Any idea why?
Well, they say she was always causing trouble, doing anything she could to upset them.
Oh, she certainly had a fair number of convictions.
Yeah, and apparently they've been trying to get her away from an abusive boyfriend, Mike Webb.
Address?
She shared a flat with him in Smethwick. They're not sure where exactly.
And the last time they saw her?
Last night, Connie did a book signing after the concert.
Okay, well, you handle the liaison side. We'll trace Mike Webb.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else significant? Let me know.
Okay.
So, what's Connie Hudson like? I remember my mum was always singing, what was that song?
It has to be me?
Yeah. If you want a girl to ring your bell, a mademoiselle to cast a magic spell. It has to be
You,
me.
please, no. You have got a terrible voice, Gov.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. It's a bit the worse for wear, yeah. How are you feeling?
Oh, like my head's in a microwave. I don't think I've ever drunk so much in my life.
Yeah, well, Bill was a good copper. Glad we gave him a good send-off.
Yeah.
Jackie, look, I think I might have said one or two things which, well, may have been somewhat indiscreet. Yeah? You still there?
Yeah?
The trouble is that the way my divorce is dragging on, and I still feel angry towards Karen, and I'm probably trying to, I don't know.
Get revenge?
Look, I think it's probably best if you and I try to keep some kind of a distance. Well, especially as we're working in a nick that tops the table when it comes to gossip.
We'd had a lot to drink, Gov.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. The state I'm in, I'm just worried that I'm going to end up messing you about.
Jackie?
I'm just trying to be honest. That's all.
I've got to go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
You coming to talk to Mum?
I had to call my DI. Sorry.
Any developments?
Yeah, we're going to talk to Mike Webb, see if he's got an alibi. You didn't see him at all.
No, but Abby said they'd argued. She was worried he'd come after her. I suppose he could have been somewhere in the gardens.
But you definitely saw her?
She turned up after the concert when Mum was signing copies of a book, was panicking about Mike and saying she needed money, but she was always in a panic and needing money. Part of me thinks she knew it was Mum's big night and she just wanted to ruin it all.
Laura!
Why would she...
I'm coming!
Sweetheart, please.
Why would Abby want to ruin it?
Because she couldn't bear the idea of any of us being happy. She was just always jealous. Her life was a mess and ours wasn't. I know you're thinking I should be upset. Well, I am. But when you grow up with an older sister who was always causing problems... I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I actually feel relieved. Oh, God. That's a terrible thing to say. I'm sorry.
You don't
Sorry.
have to keep saying sorry, Laura.
I do, yes, I do, because I'm always going to be thinking I could have done more to help her.
We found a blue rucksack near to her body. We were wondering if it was hers.
Yeah.
Laura!
If Mum's not up to talking...
Then I will come back later. Laura, I'm going to be your family liaison officer, so it'll be my job to keep you and your mum informed of the investigation's progress, support you in any way I can. And if you have any questions at all you've got to do is ask. Okay? I know we've talked a lot about Abby's boyfriend, but if there's anyone else you know who may have had a grudge against your sister...
Lots of people, I should think. But you need to find Mike. She was terrified he was going to find her. I better go and see Mum.
Yeah, okay.
You all right?
Oh, just a bit of a headache. Might need a glass of water, if that's okay.
Of course.
Oh, what I actually need is a coffee and some painkillers. My head gets any worse and it's going to explode. What's the first rule of family liaison? Handle initial contact sympathetically and professionally. Not keep a distance so no one can smell alcohol on your breath. Oh, why did I drink? I never drink. What did he say? That we shouldn't see each other because he still feels angry towards his wife and he's worried he wants some kind of revenge. Last night he was all over me, saying he'd been meaning to tell me what he thought about me for ages, that he fancied me the moment he saw me. And I believed him. Just like I believed Connie Hudson when she said she'd never get over losing Abby, then seemed determined to go ahead with her next concert. And Laura? She said herself how difficult her sister had been when they were growing up, how Abby was always trying to upset her. So Abby turns up on their mum's big night, threatens to make a scene, and Laura finally snaps. Maybe that's why she kept saying sorry and not looking at me, and why she's got bruises and cuts on her right hand.
And if you missed some of that episode, you can hear it again at 7:45 this evening here on Radio 4, Part 2 with us on Woman's Hour tomorrow. Just catching up with a few of your tweets and emails. I've already mentioned that people have been concerned about this particular point, but I'll read out this email to illustrate it further. This is from Liz. Just been listening to your discussion about parenting and work. Your contributors do seem to miss the point that many of us do not work in jobs where you can work from home. And many of us work in healthcare, nurses like myself. Women also work in many other roles such as driving, manufacturing and other practical hands-on jobs. They cannot work from home or just nip out to pick up the kids from school or nursery and then catch up with work later. Imagine wanting to just nip out in the middle of a cardiac arrest. Well, quite. Thank you very much for making that point. As I say, certainly not the only person to do so. This from Marion. At the commemorations of D-Day in Normandy in 2014, I saw half a dozen Dutchmen wearing clogs. The clogs showed signs of much wear, especially on the toes. And when I spoke to them, they said they wore their clogs every single day. They were garage mechanics, and the toes get worn from working kneeling on the ground. Marion, thank you very much. Some confusion on Twitter. People thought, because of my northern accent, I think we were talking about clocks. And so we've had pictures of clocks as well. Clogs. I need to go to some speaking lessons, I think. Now, join us, if you can, for Woman's Hour tomorrow, live at 10:02. Our big guest tomorrow, Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, who is now in the running for the Labour leadership.
Woman's Hour was presented by Jane Garvey and produced by Beverly Purcell. Do you remember during the 2012 Olympics, 7 Cameroonian athletes disappeared from the Olympic Village? What happened to them? Well, Radio 4's Peter White has been on the trail of one of them, and after the news he'll reveal what happened next. Olympic Run is in a couple of minutes. Looking a little further ahead, Claire Balding returns to BBC Radio 4 this week for a new series of ramblings. In the first programme, she's in London's Royal Greenwich Park, walking with a group of parents who have children with special needs.
And I've seen a world that I didn't realise. And I've seen things in a new way. There is no one way of being as a human, that we all have different ways. And there is no normal.
Yes, and actually the greatest liberation of all is not trying to find normal.
That's right.
And not comparing yourself to other people.
Exactly.
Parents, Rambling with Claire Balding in London's Greenwich Park. And Rambling starts next Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock here on BBC Radio 4.
We had a call from the Botanical Gardens at about 8 o'clock this morning to say a woman's body had been found floating in the rock pool. Not easy, dealing with a sudden death when you've been up all night at someone's leaving do. Bill Kinning, 23 years service, worst hangover of my life, and I didn't even like him. Contents of a rucksack have been strewn along the path. Cigarettes, lighter, smartphone, pink comb, and a book.
Gov, take a look at this.
What?
Now, the drama, Mira Sayal returns for another series as Family Liaison Officer Jackie Hartwell in A Small Town Murder by Scott Cherry.
More than one injury?
Looks like it.
The pool's quite close to the path, so I suppose the deceased could have slipped leaning over to feed the goldfish, or tripped trying to take a closer look at the water lilies. Accidents do happen, but an accident wouldn't explain why she seems to have suffered injuries to both the front and the back of her head, or why the
What's that?
by her leg.
Her shoes come off, well, the sandal, and there's a tattoo just above her ankle.
So what do we do, Gov? Leave her in the water?
Better wait for the pathologist.
It'll make time of death difficult.
Can't have everything.